driving all of the equipment. It's probably the funnest thing there is to do on the planet.
When gunfire starts happening and you put a 17, 18-year-old in front of gunfire, sometimes they'll cry.
My name is Susan Bennett, and I'm a voice actor and the original voice of Siri.
When I got laid off, I was devastated. I didn't quite know what to do with myself. I was applying for jobs everywhere. I cannot just sit around and do nothing. And I was driving my husband crazy. And I was just looking, for things to do. It started out with anything and everything that was related to wood, and I quickly learned that that was a mistake, only because there's only one of me. I only have so much time. And so what I've done is I've pared down that product line to pets for now. And so my pet line includes every size crate known to man. If you have a pet that fits in a crate, I can build it.
So she came up with the idea saying, maybe I'll start building these. I thought she was crazy at first, but after the first one and was well received, it was great. I was like, okay, well, if this is going to take off, this is going to take off.
That week, I had 5 people reach out to me asking if I would build them one. It wasn't so much as a passion growing up, doing woodworking, as much as a requirement, help me, mend fences or work on the farm or do things like that.
So I kind of took over Mr. Mom. I kind of stepped in and had to be more hands-on with the kids and more hands-on with the school stuff and dinners and stuff like that.
I saw Jenny Benz, Virginia's business, and I saw her dog crates and how they actually fit into the home and they look like they're a part of the furniture that belongs in the home. And I contacted her and I said, I'm looking for a local artist that could perhaps, a woodworker, that could perhaps make the first piece with a table. And I sent her kind of the specs that I wanted, and she said, you know what, I will do this and we'll work on it together. One of the things that I really was looking forward to is there's a bookshelf that looks like a tree and the table for the staff kitchen because I wanted them to have a nice place. And the angle of the room was weird, so she had to make it small enough to fit in. That teaches our teachers, our students, our families that pass by through, they know that Virginia made those pieces, and they can say, this is a stereotype that we're breaking down.
When you own your own business, it's not a 9-to-5, it's a 24/7. So there is no end. There is no end. I'm always working all the time, or I'm always thinking about work or how to improve it. I love it every day. I wake up and it's not a job. It's fun.
Hi, I'm Carla Hidalgo Gato with Montgomery County Fire Rescue, and I'm a firefighter here. Come on in. We run everything from a broken toe to a building on fire. This is the watch office where our calls come in and we do all of our reporting. Hi, it's Carla at 22. How are you? About 85% of the calls that we run are EMS calls, which is medical, and the other 15% or so are fire calls. This is our training room and conference room. We have our lineup board, which is all the writing positions and what equipment we're all responsible for. This is our kitchen and dining room. We generally cook together as a shift, and especially for dinner. We have dinner together. We all sleep in the same room. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've slept in open bunk rooms. Almost every firehouse in Montgomery County has an open bunk room. All the people I've ever worked with, it's been a very pleasant experience. As a firefighter, I knew that it would be harder as a woman just because it was a man's world. I think that men come into this line of work and they're given a certain amount of respect and expectations. And as a woman, I feel like maybe we need to earn that. But I have found that once I had it, it wasn't so easy to lose it. My mom thought I had lost my mind. She thought I was crazy. There's never been a firefighter in our family, much less a woman firefighter. So this is the Nomex hood that we put on to protect our head. We keep our boots already inside of our pants so that we can put our pants and boots on quickly. The coat, it's several layers. And last but not least, our helmet. That's it. I enjoy driving all of the equipment. It's probably the funnest thing there is to do on the planet. They do a lot of recruiting of females, and it just doesn't always work out. I think it's a misconception. Maybe they're not sure exactly what we do. Maybe it's just not a career path that any woman in their family has ever taken. They don't perhaps know any women firefighters. You know, it could be any number of things. I think we have so much to contribute. I think we enhance and enrich the department and the job that's being done. We bring a different perspective. We approach situations from a completely different angle. Anytime you've got 6 people in a room, just having a different perspective could make a difference in the outcome of the situation.
So today we're going to give a demonstration just to show people what the capabilities are of the National Training Center.
You asked me earlier if I think NTC was needed. I say most definitely. To most people, this looks like a place with a bunch of buildings. To a combat vet or people who's been out here before, this is about as realistic as we can get it. You have to know how to talk to the people in the bazaars. You can't go there. I mean, they're people too. They're trying to make a living just like everybody else. Yeah, you can't go there and be rude and be mean. If you do a good deed, sometimes they'll show you where the bad guy is.
In 2003, I worked with a U.S. company in construction in Iraq, and then I switched to the U.S. Army. I train or help someone here before they go overseas and make the mistake. So we kind of cultural advise, like don't do that. Be aware of this. Something he's not introduced to, a soldier, and it could just help him.
So today we're going to give a demonstration just to show people what the capabilities are of the National Training Center. I'm going to show the sights, sounds, and smells, so people are going to hear the call to prayer, maybe dogs barking, just the different ways in which we can give training soldiers a sensory overload to try and simulate what it might be like to be in a deployed nation.
As you start to go up, you can already see that the building's already fogged out. Yeah. So when you go up there, your sense is going to be completely going and figure out what's going to be going on. So if you have somebody hiding in the stairwell over there, you know, how can you accomplish your mission on going to the building and finding the bad guys? When gunfire starts happening and, you know, you put a 17, 18-year-old in front of gunfire, sometimes they'll cry, sometimes they'll curl up in a ball, or sometimes they just freeze. They don't know what to do. The other reaction, they'll just fight. They'll, you know, have the fight or flight method. And a lot of them, some of them will fight, and some of them will get scared. And that's the type of stuff you you need to hash out before you go overseas.
How does it feel to be on the other side?
I mean, it feels weird because we're supposed to protect people, but you know, it's a training as well to see you from both sides.
Okay.
You know?
After coming to, here to NTC and then going overseas, I was prepared. It was kind of a culture shock, but it was kind of like, hey, I'm back at NTC again. A lot of things were different, but it wasn't that sudden, oh, here you are, you know, good luck. And then when stuff kicked off, you know, of course you're gonna get that mindset, but you had the training here, and so you were more acceptable of accepting it when you were over there.
Tenemos la oportunidad de venir a trabajar para acá y así apoyar a la familia. Con eso sacamos adelante a los hijos, los que tenemos hijos.
Well, right now I have 30 visas. I have 30 ladies will be coming in here to work. I don't have them all here right now, but they're on their way. They should be here actually tomorrow, the rest of them. I don't know what we would do or the whole area would do without them. They keep it all moving. All the people in this whole area have built their business on them and their livelihood, and you just get cut off. How do you run a business and tomorrow they just throw a switch and say, no, that's it, you don't get anybody? It doesn't work that way. This whole area and all the people that make the baskets and the boxes and the plastic cups, all of them are going to be devastated by it too. That's a lot of income they're going to lose.
Well, we need 50 visas to bring our workers from Mexico. We've applied for American workers and there's no luck at all. They're not going to pick the crabs like we need the way things are now. The lottery system through the visa program is really what kicked us out of the program, and we're just waiting for more visas to be offered, so maybe we got another chance.
How long usually the workers stay here, and how long is their work day?
They come in April and leave end of November to the middle of December. It's like an 8-month job, and that's another reason why we can't hire American workers, because it's not a full-time job. It's only 8 months out of the year.
Okay, these are the crab crates that we would normally be putting the crabs in to steam. Then they would be put on the table for the ladies to pick the crabs. And as you can see, we're all ready. We have baskets here, empty baskets, but we have no workers. Got everything but the workers.
Edgar will call you and let you know, but they're going to release 15,000 visas next week. Yeah, they want to be here real bad. You know, it's a lot of them don't even work in the wintertime. They don't have jobs, and what money they make here in the summertime, and most of it goes back to Mexico, other than what they spend for stuff here. You know.
I've never seen anything like this before. It's really fun to watch your coffee getting made by a robot. It's amazing.
Hi, my name is Susan Bennett, and I'm a voice actor and the original voice of Siri. For a really long time in my life, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I started doing, working in clubs, singing and playing. And one day, as far as getting into voice work, it was basically kind of accidental. We had finished singing a jingle that day. I think there was a group of 6 of us. And the voice actor didn't show up to read the copy of the spot. So the owner of the studio said, "Susan, you don't have an accent. Come over here and read this copy." And I went, oh, ding, ding, ding. So I got a voice coach and a talent agent, and I've been doing that ever since. I did the original Siri recordings in 2005, and Siri appeared on October 4th, 2011. And I didn't know anything about it until a fellow voice actor emailed me and said, "Hey, we're playing around with this new iPhone app. Isn't this you?" And I went, "Really?" So I went on the Apple site and listened, and I went, oh my. On the one hand, I thought, wow, I'm basically the new voice of Apple. That's pretty cool. But the fact that I apparently had auditioned without knowing it, that really took me aback. And it took me 2 whole years to reveal myself as Siri because of that, because I knew it was going to affect my career. And I just wasn't sure how it was going to happen. You know, on the one hand, a lot of people who are not in the business will go, "Oh, you're Siri, that's so cool, that's so great." The people in the business are going, "You're Siri," and maybe can't hear anything beyond the Siri voice. And so it's like anybody that gets characterized as one particular thing. Siri, what are the top 10 books of 2017?
Here's what I found on the web for what are the top 10 books of 2017.
Siri was a life lesson for me because I had to face certain insecurities. The fact that I'm basically an introvert and I'm a very private person. Oh, do I want to be this person that's on everybody's device all over the world? And so you have to accept it and figure out a way to spin it to the positive for yourself, which I've done, and it has actually turned into a whole new career for me. I had no idea. Like everything in life, you know, Siri had a big positive and a big negative. And I have no way of measuring the negative, except I can see that since I did come out as Siri, a huge percentage of the work that I do is Siri related. On the other hand, I have done auditions for a Siri-like voice and not gotten it. The first 2 iterations of Siri, she really had a little bit of an attitude. I know that the first time I talked to Siri, I said, "Well, hi Siri, how are you? What are you doing?" And she goes, "I'm talking to you." I think Siri would like to make an appearance and say a couple of things. Always face your fears. Always keep the faith. But most of all, always have a sense of humor. LOL.
Thank you, Susan.
I think it's super cool. It's so innovative. I've never seen anything like this before. It's really fun to watch your coffee getting made by a robot. It's amazing.
So you can select whatever you want. You just place an order. And I hit submit, and you're good. Come back when you get a text.
So I started the company in 2008. We've been developing the machines over that time. We've had people from all over the world since we started asking for this. Coffee is ubiquitous, right? And this problem that we're solving is common around the world. The problem is very high quality coffee that's convenient, that's consistent, done just the way you like, and that is very efficient in the use of the beans and the raw materials. I started the company really thinking about the way we consume quality products in the West. We're often very wasteful, and we don't really understand what it's taken to get those quality beans, in this case beans, to our mouth essentially. And we want to be able to connect at the end of the day, not just solve the problem of quality coffee convenient, but also the connection back to origin. So we buy coffee direct from Central America, and the idea is that in the end we can use this platform to connect you, the end customer, to the farmers. And maybe the farmers have some issues, and maybe we could do programs where we connect you and say help with a water project, or help with a motor blower that's gone down in the small cooperative. So how do we use the technology of this century to connect people in lots of different ways? And coffee is a common ground that everyone can relate to.
It's gonna take a little bit of time, but I'm sure that we're gonna be having this instead of having Starbucks out there.
I think that in certain places, for sure, especially like office buildings, it's easy to have them just be, in a smaller area where they don't have to staff an entire barista at all times.
It's a big market. And so there are specialty coffee shops where there are high quality trained baristas that I don't think we'll ever replace. I mean, there is a place and time for those. But there's a lot of places around, think of a hospital in the middle of the night. Where is the quality coffee there? Where is it at 5:30 in the morning at the airport? And so we want to get that quality experience in all those spaces that are really underserved.
It seems like a really good idea to have them everywhere because like it's perfect to just avoid lines, just getting there, picking your coffee, and you're good to go for the day.
This is just my way of getting to and from work. I ran into a bridge one day, and I ran into floating trees and things, and so sometimes you would get into a mindset, and you just forgot what was going on. You forgot to look around. To get away from the traffic and just be out on the water. I've always loved to be on the water. And there were always lots of birds and beaver and fish, so there turtles, so there was always something, every day was a little different. I tried to get my kids interested, but I couldn't get them interested in rowing. They've been out here a few times, but never really took a big interest in it. They thought a little crazy too, but they were sort of proud of their dad, so they could brag about him. But then I went to library school at Columbia University, and at that time, in 1967, the Library of Congress was actually recruiting people, so they came to Columbia to recruit. And I was recruited by the Library of Congress. Some people take the metro every day, or they drive their cars. Make sure that you have things to do that you love to do.